I am Dr. Velamani PS, Professor, Department of Computer Science, University of Science and Technology, Meghalaya. In this video, we are going to see transmission media types of computer networks. The contents are different types of transmission media, network topology, then the network interface card, then the checksum error detection scheme, switching techniques. So there are five things which we are going to cover. The first two topics, types of transmission media and network topologies, different types, we will cover in this slides. So types of transmission media. So different types of cables which can be used to connect different network devices which is in our computer networks. For the different communications, we need to use the different transmission media. So the types of transmission media, so the guided media, that is wired one, then the unguided media, that is wireless. So transmission media, guided media, wired, there are three types in the guided media. Number one is coaxial cable, twisted pair cable, fiber optics cable. So there are three types in this guided media. So unguided media, that is wireless, free space, just the coverage without any wire. We are trying to communicate by using wireless methods. So the first one by one we can see the different type of cables. So the cable number one is coaxial cable. So normally we are using this cable in initial days, our DVD drive to our television. So DVD player will be there. In the DVD player, we might have some digital output and our television digital in that will be there. So we are using some cables to connect our DVD player to television. In such situation, these type of cables and all used. If you are looking this figure, this indicates copper conduction, one copper wire, that is the middle core here. So after this one, the next layer is plastic insulation. The plastic insulation is covered this particular copper conductor to protect its leakages. Then after that, braided copper shielding, that is the another layer. Then after that, outer jacket is there, that is simple plastic coverage which is there in the outside. If you are looking this braided copper shielding, this will take the major role of the protecting our copper conductor from outside noise signals. So outside noise signals will not disturb our copper conduction to connect with the various devices, and it will protect the noise signals. So there will be a no signal loss or no disturbances or interruption in the signals in between two devices passing. So this is the diagram, and we'll see some of the information about the coaxial cable, where exactly it is used and all. So if you are looking this particular cable, it can run longer distance than twisted pair cable. We'll see twisted pair cable in future. It consists of copper wire surrounded by insulation and braided wire. The speed in this copper wire conduction, that is 10 to 100 Mbps. This B indicates bits. In case of B means that capital B, that indicates bytes. This small b which indicates bits per second. So cost is it's moderate and it inexpensive only. Media and connection size, that is medium. Maximum cable length 500 meters. It is which is used in broadband communication. Normally it used in LAN cables and television distributions. So we can use this type of coaxial cables. So number two is twisted pair cable. So in twisted pair cable, there are two types, shielded one and shielded one. Two types are there. The shielded twisted pair cable. So if you'll see this, two pairs are there in the core in the middle. So after that, it will be covered by the foil shield, then the braided shield, then outer side one plastic jacket will be covered in this. So the braided shield and foil shield and all, it's taking care of the twisted pair to protect the twisted pair from the outside noise signal, and it will take care of the uninterrupted signal passing from one system to another system. So if we'll see the general summary of this shielded twisted pair cable, and it can be used in telephone and data communication. So two pairs of interview wires twisted together that we have seen in the uh, previous slide. So inexpensive but bandwidth too low for video and voice as well as data at the same time. The speed, that is 0 to 100 Mbps, that is the speed which we can very up to, you can say 100 Mbps, that is the speed that we are putting 0 to 100 Mbps. So cost, it's moderate one, and media and connected size medium to large level. Its maximum length is 100 meters and used in heavy electrical equipment with large number of cables. So electrical equipments with large number of cables can be used. It used in general, generally it is used in industrials. So electrical industries and electronics based industries and all these type of cables will be used. So the second one is it is unshielded twisted pair cable, UTP. So unshielded twisted pair cable. So here we can see colored coded plastic insulation. So there are different colors, four color combinations, that is separately. We will study this as a separate subject, and the color combinations also we can go in depth manner. So timing, we can say that twisted pair, four pairs will be there and that will be covered by outer jacket. So these twisted pair will be covered by the outer jacket, and where exactly it is used in the normal LAN cables and all is used in these things. And if you are looking in-depth explanation on this, it is a four pair wire medium used in a variety of network. Each of the copper wires in the UTP cable is covered by insulation material. So insulation material is used there. So speed is 10 to 1000 Mbps. That is the speed. So cost, it's least expensive. Medium on connector size, it is small, medium, and maximum cable length 100 meters, which is used in computer and telecommunication industry. So if you look the quality and category of the cables, it depends upon the prices, that depends upon the quality category of the cable which is used in home and business. Normally in home we'll use this type of cable in normal LAN connections, and business offices level also this type of cables will be used. Then finally, the fiber optic cables, which is taking leading role to transmit the data in high speed. So in high speed data transmission, these type of optic fiber cable will be used, and we may think about how this can be. This optic fiber cable in this figure, the optic fibers are used to transmit the data signals. So normally we knows that the speed of light travel, it's traveling in any kind of vacuum tube or any kind of situation. It's 3 lakhs, we can say 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meter per second, which indicates 3 lakhs meter per second, 3 lakhs kilometers per second. So 3 lakhs kilometers per second light speed in the vacuum tube. So the idea is, so we are using this light beams, fiber light beams for the data traversal. How this can be takes place? Because we are transferring the data for the long distance, high speed from one sender to receiver. These fiber optics, generally lights will carry the signal. If we have the binary signals only travel from one place to another place, right, in any kind of data transmission. So how these lights will takes care of the data transmission? That is in the form of binary. If it is on, that is said to be one light. If the light is off, that is said to be zero. So the data transmission, the signal transmission takes place in the form of zeros, ones, that is light on, off. So in such a manner, data will be traveled through the long distance. This may be kept in the under the sea, and to the various countries also these type of cables will be used. So the light reflections inside the cable, that will be protected by this water resistance jelly casing. This water resistance jelly casing, generally, which is protecting the cable fibers inside the water in case we are passing the cables. Then the steel wires also will be used for the protections, and copper tubing, that is another. Then outside high density polyethylene insulation will be there. This give more protection for the all layer levels. So where exactly this used, and the points which we can see here. So this fiber optic cable is an assembly similar to an electrical cable, but containing one or more optical fibers, consist of thin standard of glass or plastic that carry data through pulses of light. So which I already told, that pulses, that is zeros and ones, on off, by using the cladding. The optical fiber elements are typically individually coated with plastic layered and contained in a protective tube suited for the environment where the cable is used. based upon the environment, it can be protective by using these plastic layers. So different types of cables and different different types of cables are used in different applications. So for example, long distance telecommunications are providing a high speed data connection between different parts of a building. The glass fiber carrying light pulse, each bit pulse, and based on total internal reflection of light, high speed point to point transmission. So these 3 points will be reflected about the speed of transmissions. So the users, internet users, suppose I am typing in Google to search something about fiber optic cable. So if I type this in Google, how this can be transmitted to fiber optic cable through by high speed. So the message will pass through in binary only. It will reach the server, and from the server it will get the information, and again it will be the readable format to us by using this particular fiber optic cable. So in case of the connectivity, we need to have more and more connection, and in such situation we can use more boosters as well as repeater kind of stuffs will be there in our major server locations. So it will try to connect throughout the world. That is the major advantage of our fiber optic cable. Even generally the data service providers also, they will charge highly. Why? Because they are supposed to install the fiber optic cables under the sea or in somewhere in a long distance, which is the costly one, which takes the cost part in the setup of the fiber optic cable. Then the signal loss, which is said to be attenuation, typically measured in decibels dB. So by using this formula, dB equals 10 into log P1 by PO. That is, PO is the output power applied at one of the cable, and this P0 is the wattage at the end of the cable. The cycles or waves per second. One cycle is said to be 1 hertz. 1000 is 1 kilohertz. If it is 10 lakhs, then that is 1 megahertz. Like that, 1 gigahertz, 1 terahertz, that cycle per second will be handled. Now we'll see that transmission characteristics of guided media. So in this tabular column, the transmission media type as well as frequency range, then the attenuation, then the delay, then the repeater using distances. So twisted pair cable, 3.5 kilohertz, the attenuation rate is 0.2 dB per kilometer at the rate of 1 kilohertz. The delay indicates 50 microseconds per kilometer. So the repeater, after 2 kilometers, one repeater will be used. In such a manner, twisted pair cable, after 2 kilometers also, we are using the repeater. Coaxial cable, we are having the region 1 to 9 kilometers. After that, we are using repeater. Then optical fiber cable, you will see that the rate or the distance of repeater, it's like this. The delay is also 5 microsecond per kilometer. Then the attenuation rate is zero point 0.2 to zero point 0.5 only. And the frequency range is, it's very high frequency, 186 to 370 terahertz. So these are all the common characteristics of guided media. unguided media, that is wireless networking. So unguided media, as the name indicates, the wireless, there is no requirement of our physical cable. It's particularly useful for our remote access for laptop uses. Remotely, we can use access anything without any cable. So eliminate cable falls and cable breaks. So wireless, however, if we are using wireless, then we are not going to use any cable. So simply we can eliminate cable faults and cable breaks. So data transmission between the user and the file server, it will be made it very easy. Example, office wireless networks in building blocks. So in a particular building, we may use some wireless routers and you can access the internet services or maybe server services through the wireless media. And to access the information, we need to have the proper IP address of our the system, and through IP only the things will be connected. So advantages allow for wireless remote access and network can be expanded very easily. So disadvantages, security issues associated with wireless transmission and unauthorized access. So anybody can hack your access and they can also access your information, and they can delete or they can modify the information. So that is the major security issue which we can see in our unguided media. The speed of data transmission is limited while compared to other network topologies. So if once the moment we will see the topologies, and if you use the unguided media, the speed will be less. That is limited only. Now the components of network communication. So the different components which we are going to use in the network communications. Number one, that is source computer, sender, destination, receiver. Network cables are the used for the different communication. Switches, connectors, various network devices, network interface card. So by using these five components only, a computer network communication can be done. It's very clear that the step one, the destination computer, maybe the receiver will request the source computer as its requirement as a token, which consists of source address and destination address. Step number two, the transmission, how it takes place. The source computer receives the token and adds data packets along with the tokens and send the entire frame to the destination. So the entire information will be sent to the destination based upon its request from the source. So the third one is destination computer will receive the data packets and send the acknowledgement signal to the source computer. So once it receives the data and it sends, I received, like that, the acknowledgement signal will send to the center by the receiver. So the next area is network topologies, the connectivity of the various devices in various methods. So how will make the network topology by using different area context. So network topology will be considered in following areas like cost, flexibility, reliability. So the pattern of the interconnection of computer in a network is called network topology. The pattern. There are number of factors to consider the topology. Number one is cost. If network is to be cost effective, one should try to minimize installation cost. That is the fact, cost. Flexibility. The topology should allow to extend to reduce the size of the network flexibility, which is said to be reconfiguration. So I may have a network connection which consists of 5 devices. I want to increase it to 10 or I reduce it to by 2 means that should be the flexible one which can be done in our topology. That specific topology may need to be considered. Reliability. The topology which is selected for the network can help by allowing the from source to destination without any data loss, and also to detect the error in the network to provide better services in the network. So that is our reliability. So based upon the types, and we are having a bus topology with us. That is the first one. Bus topology, we are using the coaxial cable, and both the side terminators are there, the starting point and end point. So N1, N2, N3, N4 are the systems connected by using coaxial cable. That is simply one-way communication. There is arrow marks indicates the connection between from the common communication link. So this is our bus topology. So in this bus topology, from starting point to end point terminator, the message will be broadcasted to all the connected hosts through a bus. So the common channel that is called bus, the common communication channel. So only one way of communication is possible between two hosts. So that is unidirectional. A message would be sent from one host with the address of another host attached to the message. Advantage is it works well for small networks, relatively inexpensive to implement, easy to add a great number of hosts, expand the network. We can easily add more systems. Disadvantages, management cost in case of larger network, in case if you are having more system in our network. Then the second disadvantage is a break in a bus, the break in this communication channel may affect the entire network. So that is the another disadvantage which we can see here. The second one is ring topology. You can see here the all nodes connected like in the pattern of a ring. So one-way communication. So this is the representation. Let us see some of the explanations how transmission the transmission of data will happen in between N1, N2, N3, N4 like that. In case of N1 is transferring to N2, it can be done directly. N2 wants to transfer to N3, that can be done directly. So in such a manner, it will keep on transferring data. But the problem is, in case of any one node is getting failed, the entire network will be failed. That is the information which we can get from this ring topology. So see the point N1 and the hub is connected. Four hubs are connecting these four nodes N1, N2, N3, N4. So the hub is broadcasting the signal to all its connected networks. So hub or switch or repeater, we can have any kind of uh, hardware devices, that is data communication equipment, DCE. So in ring topology, each node is connected to the two nearest nodes. So the entire network forms a circle. So data only travels in one direction on a ring network. It's a kind of ring pattern, ring network. One method for passing on ring network is token passing. Advantages of ring topology: easier to manage, that is to locate a defective node or cable problem easily we can manage it. It handles high volume network traffic, that is the major advantage again. Enables reliable communication, that is another disadvantage. Now let us move to the disadvantages of this ring topology, a single malfunction workstation can disable the whole network. As I said already, one node is getting failed, the entire network will down. To ensure all the information is sent to the receiving host, the token is sent back. That means the acknowledgement signal to the sending host after it has received all the data. So that is the major disadvantage which we can see. It is more expensive than bus topology as it requires more cable and network equipment during the initial stage of setup of the network. Because the pattern is ring, we need to finish the ring as per the maximum number of requirement of the system connectivity. So the initial cost setup will be high. But in case of LAN, we can extend the LAN one by one and we can keep on increasing the connectivity. Then the star topology. The star topology, the figure indicates very clearly that the central point is there to the central. From the central point, various nodes will be connected in the form of star. So the central point may be hub or switch. So here node 1, node 2, node 3, node 4, node 5, node 6. 6 nodes are connected. So in case the central point is getting the information from any other services, network services, it will broadcast to the all its connected nodes at the same time. In case of hub, in case of switch, it will be specifically sent to the specific device. In star topology, every node is connected through a central device such as hub, switch, or router. All the data from the central hub are switched to the destination node as hub is in direct connection to every node. So that is the thing which you have seen already. If any one each cable fails, then only the node connected on that cable would be affected. In case of N1 is getting failed, means that particular cable failed, then N1 is getting affected. Then remaining networks will work properly. So it is very simple to join two star networks together by connection their central devices to each other. So in case if we want to connect two star topologies, just we need to connect only the central node, central device. That is enough. So advantages: good option for modern networks, low startup cost, easy to manage, extension of network is very easy. It will be used in bank and educational sectors. Disadvantages: more cable required than the bus topology. In fact, in bus topology, a common communication cable will be there. Then, based upon the number of systems, the cable will be extended. But here, we need more cable to make the star topology. Hub is a single point of failure. If hub fails, the entire network will be down. So the central device in failure causes the entire network down. That is the star topology. Now the mesh topology, the connection that represents N1, N2, N3, N4, N5. Five nodes are connected with each other in such a pattern. For example, N1 is there, it is trying to connect with all the nodes. N2, it's trying to connect all the nodes. It's then N3, N4, N5. So all the nodes are connected with each other at the same time. If any one node wants to transfer data to any device at any time, this can be by using this kind of connectivity. So as per the mesh topology, we can have this information like in this topology, a host is connected to one or multiple hosts. This topology has hosts in point-to-point connection with every other host. Hosts in mesh topology have interconnection to send or receive data at any time. So 24 hours it is available to transfer or receive the data. Advantage is data can be transmitted from different devices simultaneously. So that is a fact which we have seen already. Even if one of the host fails, there is always another alternative. So data transfer does not get affected. That is the point, major benefit in this mesh topology. Extension and modification in this topology can be done without disturbing other nodes. So we can connect more nodes without any disturbance to other nodes. A broken node will not affect the entire network connection. So if N1 is getting failed, it will not be a problem for the network and the remaining nodes will works properly in this particular network. A mesh topology can handle high amount of network traffic. So even the data volume of data is high that can be handled very easily. Disadvantages. There are high chances of redundancy in many of the network connections. So one node is sending data to many nodes. So data, the data can be sent to various nodes at the same time. So in a bidirectional manner. So at this moment, the redundancy of data, the overwriting of data, the redundancy, these may cause and this create trouble to get the exact data or right information to the receiver side. Overall cost of the network as to high is too high as compared to other network topologies because we are going to use lot of cable lengths to connect all these nodes and it costs very high cost of cables. Maintenance of this topology is very difficult because it requires continuous supervision by the network administrator. So that is also another issue. So it will be used in internet and military applications. Tree topology, this is the another topology. It's the node 1, node 2 central hub that will be connected. From the central hub, another central hubs will be connected N3, N4, N5, then N6, N7, N8. The representation will be like this. So how the transformation of data and the connection will be properly done in this and how the data transmission can be occurred in this. You will see that from the central hub, one hub to another hub, the information will be passed. Then from the central hub, again, the all nodes will be receive the information. So the core layer, the distribution layer, the core layer will takes place the first order, then the second order hierarchy is distribution layer, then the again distribution layer, finally the access layer, all the nodes get the information. So this is the way of communication in the tree topology. So tree topology is known as hierarchical topology, as I already told that. So this is the most common form of network topology in use presently. This topology limits as an extended star topology and inherits properties of bus topology divided into core distribution access layer levels. Advantages of tree topology. It is an extension of star and bus topology. So the network where these topologies cannot be implemented individually for reasons related to scalability, the number of nodes, tree topology is the best alternative. We can use this. Expansion of the network is possible and easy. We can expand the network easily because it is in the form of hierarchical manner, and this hierarchy can be extended very easily. The whole network is divided into segments, star networks, which can be easily managed and maintained. Then the last advantage, that is each segment is provided with a dedicated point-to-point wiring to the central hub, which acts if one segment is damaged, other segments are not affected. Disadvantages of tree topology. So disadvantages, if in case major core is getting failed, entire network will down. Then the second one is as more and more nodes and segments are added, the maintenance become difficult. We have to see where exactly the problem. Timely we have to point out the breakages of the cable or whatever it is. The maintenance charges, and we need to keep a proper administrator for that. If there is a problem with the cable, it will be tough to identify and troubleshoot the problem. That is the point. The network is not secure. Anyone can see the transmitted data as more and more nodes. So in this hierarchical format, so in case, see the last hierarchy level is going to receive the data, then the middle hierarchical level people also easily interrupt the communication, and they can get the information about the core information to the receiver. So with this, we can finish this presentation and video. So far we have covered the many areas about the network topologies and the different types of networks. Thank you very much.